Hello, my name is Ian, your host of the Walking with Legends podcast, with a quick message before we dive into the episode. First of all, I want to thank everyone who has been downloading and listening to the podcast. It's been a lot of fun to get the feedback and positive support from you guys, and I hope that you continue to tell your friends and help spread the word about the podcast, as we don't pay anything to market this, so we're completely reliant on you, the listener, through word of mouth to get the word out. Secondly, I'm very excited to announce that in the coming weeks, we will be starting a new mini-series on the show called Rivalries, where we examine some of the best rivalries in sports, how they started, why they're significant, and some of the legendary players, coaches, and games that came as a result of them. It is a possibility that some of these episodes will be two-parters, since it might be tough to contain them in one episode, so bear with us if we have to release multiple episodes in 1 week or continue a series past a single week. Lastly, I wanted to spread the word that we have created a new website that showcases this podcast along with some of the other creative ventures that my brother Justin and I do. So if you enjoy the content and you want to see or hear more of what we do, you can visit us at Super Troutman Bros. So that's BROS. myportfolio.com. So that's supertroutmanbros.myportfolio.com. Thank you guys so much for your support, and I won't take up any more of your time, so let's get right into the episode. I don't know about you, but when you go to a local sports game, like a high school football game, rarely do you look at a player and think, that kid I know is going to be one of the greatest professional players of all time. Because let's face it, it's tough to get into professional sports at all, let alone dominate it. But what if I were to tell you that a kid from Kalamazoo, Michigan would overcome adversity and go on to win multiple World Series championships, become one of the most marketable sports celebrities of all time, and be forever immortalized in one of the most historic sports teams of all time? As hard as it may be to believe, this is the story of our topic today, who's none other than Derek Jeter. Welcome to Walking with Legends, the podcast dedicated to telling the stories behind the most iconic athletes and teams in sports history and what made them become a legend. Derek Sanderson Jeter was born on June 26, 1974 in New Jersey, the son of an accountant and a substance abuse counselor. His father played baseball at Fisk University in Tennessee as a shortstop, and when Jeter was a child, his parents made him sign a contract every year that defined acceptable and unacceptable forms of behavior. The Jeters lived in New Jersey until Derek was about 4 years old, at which point they moved to Kalamazoo, Michigan. At age 5, Jeter began playing Little League baseball. Derek and his siblings lived with their parents during the school year and then spent their summers with their grandparents in New Jersey, where they would frequently attend New York Yankees games with his grandparents. Jeter became a passionate fan of the team, and as a result of watching star outfielder Dave Winfield, it inspired him to pursue a career in baseball. Jeter attended Kalamazoo Central High School, where he ran cross-country in the fall, played basketball in the winter, and baseball in the spring. Jeter posted high batting averages for the school's baseball team, batting a .557 in his sophomore year and a .508 as a junior. In his senior year, he batted .508 and compiled 23 RBIs, 21 walks, 4 home runs, 12 stolen bases in 12 attempts, and had only 1 strikeout. Jeter received several honors after his senior season, which included an All-State Honorable Mention, the 1992 High School Player of the Year Award from the American Baseball Coaches Association, the 1992 Gatorade High School Player of the Year Award, and USA Today's High School Player of the Year. Kalamazoo Central's high school inducted Jeter into its Athletic Hall of Fame in 2003 and then renamed its baseball field in his honor in 2011. Jeter earned a baseball scholarship to attend the University of Michigan and play college baseball for the Michigan Wolverines. The Houston Astros held the first overall pick in the 1992 MLB draft. Hall of Fame pitcher Hal Newhouser, who worked for the Astros as a scout, evaluated Jeter extensively and lobbied team management to select him. However, fearing that Jeter would insist on a salary bonus of at least $1 million to forego his college season for a professional contract, they instead chose Phil Nevin, who signed for $700,000 instead. Newhouser, feeling so strongly about Jeter's potential, actually quit his job with the Astros in protest after they ignored his drafting advice. The New York Yankees, who selected 6th in the draft, also rated Jeter very highly. Yankee scout Dick Grach, assigned to scouting in the Midwest, watched Jeter participate in an all-star camp held at Western Michigan University. Though Yankees officials were concerned that Jeter would attend college instead of signing a professional contract, Grach convinced them to select him, saying, quote, "The only place Derek Jeter's going is Cooperstown." The Yankees drafted Jeter, who chose to turn pro instead of going to college, and signed for $800,000. Jeter played 4 seasons in minor league baseball, beginning in the 1992 season with the Gulf Coast Yankees of the rookie-level Gulf Coast League. In his first professional game, Jeter failed to get a hit in 7 at-bats, going 0 for 7 and striking out 5 times. Jeter continued to struggle during the rest of the season, batting only .202 in 47 games. The team's manager actually benched Jeter in the season's final game to ensure that his average would not drop below 200, which in baseball is known as the Mendoza line. And being frustrated by his lack of success and being incredibly homesick, Jeter accrued over $400 a month in phone bills because of daily calls that he was making to his parents. The next season, Baseball America rated Jeter among the top 100 prospects in baseball before the season, ranking him at 44th. He played for the Greensboro Hornets in 1993, which was his first full season of professional baseball, hitting a .295 batting average with 5 home runs, 71 RBIs, and 18 stolen bases. The league's managers voted him the most outstanding major league prospect in the league, and he finished 2nd in the league in triples, 3rd in hits, and 11th in batting average, and as a result was named to the postseason All-Star team. Jeter still had areas of improvement, as he also committed 56 errors, which was an SAL record. Although humorously despite this, he was named the SAL's best defensive shortstop, most exciting player, and best infield arm by Baseball America. Jeter continued to improve the next few years until he finally caught his big break, making his MLB debut with the Yankees on May 29, 1995. Batting 9th, he went hitless in 5 at-bats, striking out once. The following day, he recorded his first 2 major league hits and scored his first 2 career runs. Jeter batted .250 and committed 2 errors in 13 games, but he was ultimately demoted back to Class AAA Columbus for the remainder of the season. After the Yankees' starting shortstop Tony Fernandez batted a disappointing .245 and appeared in only 108 games due to injuries in 1995, newly hired Yankees manager Joe Torre turned to Jeter for the 1996 season, hoping for at least a .250 batting average and dependable defense. However, the Yankees owner George Steinbrenner, often skeptical of younger players, was unconvinced after one of his advisors observed Jeter for 2 days in spring training in 1996 and came away with the impression that Jeter was not yet ready to contribute at the major league level. To provide depth to the team at the shortstop position after the injury to Fernandez, Steinbrenner approved a trade that would have sent pitcher Mariano Rivera to the Mariners for shortstop Felix Fermin. but assistant general manager Brian Cashman convinced Steinbrenner to give Jeter an opportunity instead of going through with a trade. Being rated the 6th best prospect in baseball by Baseball America heading into the 96 season, Jeter started on opening day, the first Yankee rookie to start at shortstop for the team since 1962, where he hit his first MLB home run in that same game. By the year's end, Jeter far exceeded the team's expectations, hitting a .314 batting average with 10 home runs, 104 runs scored, and 78 RBIs. He was named the unanimous AL Rookie of the Year, receiving all 28 first-place votes in only the 5th sweep in the Honors' 50-year history. That postseason, Jeter was promoted to the leadoff spot based off of his performance and posted a .361 batting average throughout the postseason as the Yankees defeated the Atlanta Braves to win their first championship since 1978 and the first of Jeter's career. In the 1998 season, Jeter was selected to his first All-Star game as he posted numbers in the regular season of a .324 batting average with a league-leading 127 runs, 19 home runs, and 84 RBIs for a team that won 114 games during the regular season, which was widely considered to be one of the greatest teams of all time. In the playoffs, Jeter hit only .176 batting average in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs, but ended up batting a .353 average in the World Series, as the Yankees defeated the San Diego Padres in 4 games, and he finished 3rd in the voting for the AL Most Valuable Player award. His success continued the following season as he posted career-best statistics and helped the Yankees to their 3rd championship in the past 4 years, with a victory over the Atlanta Braves in the World Series. During the 1999-2000 offseason, the Yankees negotiated with Jeter, tentatively agreeing to a 7-year, $118.5 million contract. However, because George Steinbrenner, the owner, did not want to set a record for the largest contract, he waited while Juan Gonzalez and the Detroit Tigers negotiated on a reported 8-year, $143 million extension. When that agreement ultimately fell through, so did Jeter's tentative deal, and to avoid arbitration, Jeter and the Yankees instead agreed on a 1-year deal worth $10 million. Still a high improvement over his initial rookie deal. In the 2000 MLB All-Star Game, he recorded 3 hits, including a 2-run single that gave his team the lead and victory. The performance earned him the All-Star Game MVP award, the first time a New York Yankee had ever won the award. During the postseason, he batted a .409 batting average in the World Series against the New York Mets, adding 2 home runs, a triple, and 2 doubles, and his home run in Game 5 tied the game and extended his World Series hitting streak to 14 games straight. The Yankees defeated the Mets in 5 games for their 3rd consecutive title and the 4th in Jeter's first 5 full seasons of professional work. And Jeter won the World Series MVP award, becoming the only player to win the All-Star Game MVP and World Series MVP awards in the same season. With 1 year remaining until he would become eligible for free agency, Jeter signed a 10-year, $189 million contract before the 2001 season to remain with the Yankees. Alex Rodriguez had signed a 10-year, $252 million contract with the Texas Rangers earlier in the offseason, which had set the market for Jeter's negotiations. Jeter, as a result, became the 2nd highest paid athlete across all team sports, trailing only Rodriguez. In 2003, George Steinbrenner named Jeter the captain of the team after not naming a captain for the team since the 1995 season, which was a distinction he would have until his retirement in 2014. Despite his consistent play, the team failed to compete for another championship until the 2009 season, when the Yankees defeated the Philadelphia Phillies, earning Jeter his 5th and final World Series championship. However, starting the next year, Jeter experienced some frustration and regression in his game, as he posted career lows statistically as chatter started to amount that his swing was starting to deteriorate due to his age. Jeter took the criticism to heart and began receiving instruction from multiple hitting coaches and was able to experience some improvement in his game. Despite these setbacks, Jeter continued to achieve significant milestones. On July 9, 2011, Jeter recorded his 3,000th career hit, a home run off of David Price of the Tampa Bay Rays. Jeter finished the day with 5 hits and 5 at-bats, becoming the second player to have 5 hits on the day that he achieved his 3,000th hit, and the second player of all time to hit a home run for his 3,000th hit. Jeter played his 2,402nd game with the Yankees on August 29, 2011, which broke Mickey Mantle's record for the most games played as a New York Yankee, and finished the season with 162 hits, which was his 16th consecutive season with at least 150 hits, which tied him with Pete Rose for the second most consecutive 150 hit seasons, and one behind Hank Aaron for the MLB record. Against the Tampa Bay Rays on September 14th of that year, he moved into the top 10 of all time on the hitting lists, surpassing Willie Mays by beating out an infield single for his 3,284th career hit. Jeter announced on his Facebook page on February 12, 2014, that the 2014 season would be his last, and during his final season, each opposing team honored Jeter with a gift during his final visit to their city, which included several donations to Jeter's charity, the Turn 2 Foundation, and many other unconventional gifts like a kayak, cowboy boots, and Napa Valley wine. The Yankees went over the top, gifting the captain with the following: a massage therapy machine, frame patches from all of his 14 All-Star games, a 10-day trip to Tuscany, Italy, inscribed Waterford crystal, $222,222.22 check to his Turn 2 Foundation, a respect salute from astronauts at the International Space Station, and New York City's Mayor Bill de Blasio's proclamation that September 7th, 2014 would be known as Derek Jeter Day. On July 17th, Derek scored the 1900th run of his career, becoming the 10th player in MLB history to do so. And on August 11th, he passed Honus Wagner, climbing to 6th on the all-time hits list. In the final week of Jeter's career, MLB Commissioner Bud Selig honored him as the 15th recipient of the Commissioner's Historic Achievement Award for being, quote, one of the most accomplished shortstops of all time. The average ticket price for Jeter's final home game on September 25th reached $830 on the secondary market, where Jeter hit a walk-off single against Orioles pitcher Evan Meek to win the game 6-5. Jeter decided to play exclusively as a designated hitter in the final series of his career at Fenway Park in Boston, so that his final memories of playing shortstop would be at Yankee Stadium. In his final at-bat, he hit an RBI infield single against Clay Buchholz before being substituted for a pinch runner, receiving an ovation from the Red Sox fans as he exited the field. Overall, Jeter had quite the career, earning 14 All-Star appearances, 5 championships, 5 Golden Glove Awards, 5 Silver Slugger Awards, and the World Series MVP in 2000. Jeter is most noted for his postseason performances, and has earned the titles of Captain Clutch and Mr. November due to his outstanding postseason play. He had a career .309 postseason batting average and a .321 batting average in the World Series. Except for 2008, 2013, and 2014, the Yankees qualified for the postseason every year of Jeter's major league career. He holds MLB postseason records for games played, plate appearances, at-bats, hits, singles, doubles, triples, runs scored, total bases, and strikeouts. After his playing career, Jeter showed an interest in business where he launched the PlayersTribune.com, which was billed as a new media platform that will present the unfiltered voice of professional athletes, bringing fans closer to the games they love than ever before. In July of 2017, Jeter bid for ownership of the Miami Marlins MLB team and the sale was completed in September 2017 following unanimous approval of the other 29 MLB team owners. Though Jeter only owns a 4% stake in the franchise, he was named Chief Executive Officer of the team, and controlling owner Bruce Sherman entrusted him to oversee day-to-day operations of the team. Jeter created the Turn 2 Foundation, a charitable organization, in 1996. It was established to help children and teenagers avoid drug and alcohol addiction, and to reward those who show high academic achievement. Growing up in Kalamazoo, Michigan, Jeter witnessed firsthand the value of community service. His favorite ballplayer, former Yankee Dave Winfield, had his own foundation which promoted health, education, and self-esteem among thousands of young people. "When I make it," said Jeter, "that's what I'm going to do." Jeter proposed the idea of starting his foundation to his father in 1996. The Jeter family began forming the foundation over pizza in a Detroit, Michigan hotel room. The organization's name was chosen, besides the baseball reference to a double play and Jeter's uniform number, to demonstrate the goal of giving youths a place to turn to besides drugs and alcohol. Over the past 18 years, the Turn 2 Foundation has raised over $27 million in grants to programs located in New York City, Western Michigan, and Tampa Bay, Florida. One funny story from his playing career comes from former Yankees pitcher Phil Hughes, who went on a podcast and shared this funny story about a time when he saw just how competitive Derek could be and how much he hated to lose. He said, quote, "He had this thing. He liked to do small little wagers every now and then, but he was such a competitor that if he lost, he would pay you in pennies. So it would be like $100 on something stupid like a college football game that's going on or something. And if he lost, he would literally have a bag of pennies the next day. And it wasn't like $1, it was $100. That's a lot of pennies." End quote. The story of Derek Jeter is definitely a unique one that would be difficult, if not impossible, to replicate, but it demonstrates just how hard he had to work to achieve the success that he experienced. Had he not persevered through those tough minor league years, where experts were nitpicking and criticizing him constantly, he never would have had the opportunity to suit up for the Yankees. Had he not been astute and self-conscious enough to realize that his swing needed improvement throughout his career, he may never have had the success that he had racking up his gaudy statistics. Had he not believed in himself that he could make a difference and use his platform to impact the community, countless amounts of kids and individuals wouldn't be where they are today. It's a powerful reminder that anyone, anywhere, at any time can become the next great sports story. And I'm sure that I speak for all of Kalamazoo, Michigan and its surrounding community when I say that we are proud that this legendary player started his journey here. This has been the Walking with Legends podcast. Thank you for tuning in, and make sure to listen next week as we kick off the Rivalries mini-series by discussing the Ohio State-Michigan rivalry. Make sure to continue to spread the word, and from all of us at this podcast, we hope you have a legendary week.